Hallo. So. Ich hab mein Butterbrot hier. Jetzt kann's losgehen. Shoot will love the night, hahaha. Was wollten wir machen? Hab schon wieder vergessen. Ach so, ich hab wieder Kranke, natürlich. Wie kann ich's vergessen? Äh, wer war krank? Hier. Brrr. 1, 2, 3, 4 Leute. Was haben die? Erschöpfung, 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 Erkältung. Alles klar. Die Venus.
Jonathan, my dear, bring me my glasses. I feel like reading.
Wir müssen denen erstmal ihr Medizin bringen hier. Sie ist ja nicht weit, gerade über die Straße rüber. Achso, ich habe ja jetzt die neue Waffe ausgerüstet. Säbel, Axt. Bin mal gespannt. Ja, jetzt geht's gar nicht mehr, die Heizung. Ich hab's abgeschraubt. Nee, ich schlafe ja nicht hier. Ich schlafe ja nicht hier in meinem Spielzimmer. Warum greift er mich nicht an? Ah, jetzt. Dieses Ventil an der Heizung. Da ist so ein kleiner Stift und der ging nicht mehr zu. Also, was ich wollte zudrehen, ging nicht mehr. Die Heizung lief immer auf volle Bulle. Jetzt habe ich das Teil umgedreht, komplett abgeschraubt und habe so eine Zange dran gemacht, wo das zuhält. Soll nicht auszuhalten hier.
As long as you have the money.
Good evening, my dear colleague.
You look ill, Miss Swanborough. I wonder if your concoction will do the trick.
I have no doubt it will. But I'm not against a second opinion, Dr. Reed.
Aufguss, ja.
Well, there you have it. Take this remedy, but be discreet. It may damage your business otherwise.
Thank you.
Goodbye, Miss Swanborough. Perhaps we'll talk again.
So, wo waren die anderen? Die ist geheilt. Joe Patterson. Der Pfarrer ist gleich hier oben. Nee. Doch. Hier entlang.
When science fails you, this elixir will give you faith again.
Doris? Keine Ahnung. Hier oben ist der Pfarrer.
Good evening, Mr. Whitaker.
It's Father Whitaker, my son. So, are you still lost in your rational delusions?
Doris Fletcher, das war die Sängerin in dem Theater.
Tell me the reason why you despise Joseph Larrabee so much, Tobias.
Die, wo sich selbst
Faithless shepherd
verbrannt
is the
hat.
worst criminal,
Ja,
for
genau.
he leads his flock to the abyss by disregarding the right path. God smote this man, for he doubted.
I only met him briefly, but he seemed a dedicated man who tried to provide guidance.
Do you not believe in punishment, my son? I am not talking about the law of men. I am talking about judgment from heaven.
If it is God's will to punish me for my alleged sins, to make people I love suffer and die, then he did a good job. But he won't ever be my lord.
Armageddon is upon us, Dr. Reed. The final battle where every soul will be weighed. I'm afraid yours will burn for a long time.
Your disciple, Samuel, stole from the dead in Stonebridge Cemetery. I have proof of his crime and proof of his death.
No! Samuel was the best of us. So devoted, so zealous. He gave all he had for the cause. He tirelessly preached the good word.
Your precious Samuel used you. He was an immoral crook.
If that's true, then he will be my burden to bear during this endless
Das
night.
sind sie doch alle. In den Gewändern hier.
He defiled the dead with his petty thefts. That's how he financed your misguided crusade.
Think what you will. When this city is saved, he will be praised for his devoted fortitude. He walked boldly into the mouth of abomination.
Don't you fear getting sick yourself?
Faith gives me all I need, my son. If I must fall, then so be it.
No doubt your faith will prevail, but let me give you some extra protection against the devil's work. Medicine.
Blessed be your generosity, my son.
I have had enough for tonight. Goodbye.
So. Noch 2 Stück. Bei Patterson. Bei Louis. Sind noch die 2 da.
Fancy buying something, sir?
You never lose your focus, do you? What do you know of Harry Peterson? The boy seems so fragile. Not like his father at all.
Harry's a good boy, but he spends most of his time complaining. He's had it tough, all right, but he needs to grow a pair.
What troubles him exactly?
Well, despite being his father's son, almost everything, I think. He never wanted to come to Whitechapel in the first place. Hates this place more than most of us.
Ja, hier kann ich kaufen. Siehst du, das ist ein Händler. Ich habe noch nie was bei jemandem gekauft.
Right then. Show me what you have.
Wie viel Schilling habe ich denn überhaupt? Ach, da oben. 2663. Habe ich Ihnen jetzt Medizin gegeben oder nicht?
Fancy buying something, sir?
You never lose your focus, do you? Do you need help, sir?
To be honest, I'd prefer you take a look at my stuff. I'd rather be rich and sick than the contrary.
I don't quite agree, but I won't argue with you. Please, take this. You'll feel better.
Really? Free?
Ja, gib mir ein paar Schrauben
Charity
dafür.
usually comes at a price. Human nature being what it is.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Lewis.
You again? What do you want this time?
Can I offer you my medical expertise, Mr. Peterson?
Keep your medicines for others.
There is a thin line between pride
Ja,
and
Jason
stupidity.
Statham.
Please take this medication.
Oder
You'll
ich
feel
würde
better.
eher sagen,
Alright.
Charles Bronson
I'll
in
take
seinen
it then.
jungen Jahren.
It's not like I don't appreciate the gesture.
Goodbye, Mr. Peterson.
So, haben wir jetzt alles. Nee, ich muss... Oh. Was soll ich machen? Soll ich hier weiter? Oder soll ich hier neue Dialog? West End, okay.
Perhaps I should look into it.
When science fails you, this elixir will give you faith again.
Ja, so ist es doch nicht. Man muss hier schon kämpfen, ne?
Support the equality between men and women. Women die too in this war. Women's right to vote.
Xena hat alles vergessen. Die da aus, das ist doch die Freundin von dieser Emily, wo wir gesucht haben, wo vom Vampyr getötet worden ist. Wo unbedingt sich speisen lassen wollte, aber hat es nicht überlebt. Das ist die Stieftochter, die Stieftochter von dieser Lady Ashbury. Da ist sie ja, die Lady Ashbury, wenn man vom Teufel spricht.
Elizabeth, what are you doing here?
I've been formally asked to witness your triumph, my dear. After all, isn't it the natural role of a woman to support her man in victory?
But it's you who insisted I join the Ascalon.
Please forgive my giddiness. I'm just overcome by the thrill of finally being allowed within these hallowed halls.
You certainly have an inquisitive mind. It's quite something. Elizabeth Ashbury, only you can make me smile in these difficult times.
And the same to you, Jonathan Reed. Now go have your little chat with the chairman. I can see he's practically bursting to hear your report.
We repelled the intruders for now. But how long before they return?
Welcome back to the Ascalon Club, Lance-Bearer. Please, tell us the good news. Have you put an end to the epidemic?
My hypothesis was correct. Doris Fletcher was the source of the contagion in this part of town. She was probably the first to be infected.
And you cleansed her before the hunters, I've been told. Well done, Dr. Reed. You thrust your lance and pierced the very heart of the corruption.
Was hat er gesagt?
But some questions remain.
The important thing is, we won a major battle for the survival of London. For that, we salute you.
Thank you, my lord.
Now, I have another task for you. One of the utmost importance. Perhaps even more so than the previous.
I'm listening.
It's time for you to perform a most sacred duty for the club. I want you to recruit a new vampire.
Recruit a new vampire? Are you sending me on some sort of diplomatic mission?
Not exactly. I want you to make Aloysius Dawson the Ekon he deserves to be.
Er will, dass ich irgendjemand zum Vampir mache. Will ich aber eigentlich nicht, ne? Ich kann das nicht, ich bin nicht sicher. Oh. Ich kann doch nicht.
I'm sorry, but I can't.
Are you questioning my orders?
No. It's just... I'm not sure I'm ready to have another progeny after what happened with my sister.
The rebirth of Aloysius Dawson is a necessary step in our campaign to ensure the safety of London.
How would you like me to proceed?
Aloysius is waiting for you at the Dawson estate. Once the deed is done, I'll join you there to celebrate this momentous occasion.
Before I go, I have a few questions.
All right, I'm listening.
Why Aloysius Dawson?
because he is about to die. And he just may be the most influential man in England. After me, of course.
Does he know I'm coming?
He can't wait to become your progeny, Dr. Reed. Especially now that you have shown how strong your lineage is through your sister.
Did
Das
he
taugt mir alles gar
choose me?
nicht.
No,
Ich
I
will ein
didn't.
guter Vampir
My
sein
decision is very
eigentlich.
recent, to say the least, but it is entirely
Und
mine.
nicht andere zu Vampir machen.
How would you like me to proceed?
Don't worry. Aloysius has had many years to prepare himself. He has studied our kind for decades.
Is there any danger?
Our blood alters a mortal body so deeply that some don't survive the metamorphosis. They die for good. But Mr. Dawson has been preparing himself for a long time.
So shall I just let him drink my blood?
Yes. Aloysius will gratefully sup on your blood. His heart will slow, then stop. But he will rise again as one of us, an immortal.
You invited Lady Ashbury. Wouldn't that be breaking one of your cardinal rules? No women allowed.
Not allowed as members, no. But considering the circumstances, I thought you'd like to have her here to witness your triumph.
So it's a temporary admittance, then.
Something of a bargain, considering the crisis we're currently facing.
Goodbye, Lord Redgrave.
Was gibt's denn hier? Nichts. Nein, scheinbar nicht.
Are you all right, Jonathan?
Lord Redgrave has just ordered me to turn Aloysius Dawson, to make him my progeny.
I see. And how do you feel about this?
I'd like your advice on the matter.
The real question here is, why has his lordship given you this task?
Do you think it's some sort of trap?
Do you really want to know what I think about this?
I do, yes.
To make an immortal of a soulless blackguard like Aloysius Dawson will only lead to a disaster for London. The man is already dead inside.
Should I refuse? Perhaps politely suggest that Lord Redgrave turn the man into a vampire himself.
Don't you dare, my dear. According to what I've recently discovered, his lordship could kill you for even broaching the subject.
Really? Why?
I've recently found proof that the Earl of Bristol is of lesser lineage and only capable of creating skulls.
Was ist? Steht da vorne rechts einer hinter dem Vorhang und lauscht? Wo? Ist da ein Gesicht? Ich glaube nicht. Ich sehe keines. Nein.
Please tell me more about your recent investigation.
As long as you lower your voice.
Ich muss aufpassen hier, was ich sage.
Are you sure your information about Redgrave is correct? He says he's the progeny of the great knight William Marshall, who lived some 9 centuries ago.
That's a lie. Lord Redgrave
Und ich habe
is
gesagt,
unable
ich soll
to
nicht zum
create
Vampir
anything
machen.
but skulls, if the poor souls survive at all.
How can you be sure the information was correct?
I made the acquaintance of a most interesting informer while investigating your maker, from whom I learned the truth about Lord Redgrave.
Why so vindictive? You suddenly sound like you're angry.
Forgive me, Jonathan. I hate myself for it, but I feel such pride in my discovery. I'm afraid I just can't help it.
Which is?
He did serve William Marshall. And yes, the blood he covets as a token does truly belong to that legendary knight. But he was never his progeny. His lineage is not so noble.
What would you have me do about Dawson?
The man is dangerous. Did you know he plans to build a wall to separate the healthy rich from the sickly poor? Do not make him your progeny.
What would you do?
The man's dying already. Let the Reaper harvest the rotten fruit that is his soul.
Sie meint, ich soll ihn nicht zum Abkömmling machen, sondern so sterben lassen. Wenn er zum Vampir wird, wird er schlimme Dinge tun, meint sie.
What would happen if I made Dawson an Ekon like myself?
You would add a powerful immortal into a suffering world. An immortal who already craves authority.
Maybe I could teach him control, like you taught me. Lead him down the right path.
Mr. Dawson spent his life searching for a way to cheat death. I'm sure he has spent decades dreaming of how he'd spend eternity as a tyrant.
Goodbye for now, Elizabeth.
Goodbye, my dear. Please, be careful.
So. Also wenn ich bei diesem Dawson bin, versuche ich ihn so zu töten. Also ich versuche zu vermeiden, dass ich ihn beißen muss.
It's always been your house, Dad. Not mine.
Da ist doch im Sterben. Da ist doch todkrank. Und ein böser Mann. Soll ich erst ins Krankenhaus zu dem Dr. Swanson? Oder Swansea? Oder zum Friedhof, zu dem Friedhof? Er könnte weiterleben, aber er ist immer noch böse. Friedhof.
It looks like vampires have to obey Mendel's laws when producing progeny. Powers pass from one generation to another. That's why Dawson wants me to sire him.
Hast du nicht zugehört? Der tut die Arme terrorisieren und unterdrücken. Das ist ein mächtiger Mann und er will noch mächtiger werden durch die Unsterblichkeit. Und dieser Lord, dieser alte Lord, bei dem ich war, in diesem Club, der braucht den, weil er halt politische Macht hat. Hä? Wo bin ich denn jetzt? Tja, was soll er machen? Mich kann man nicht mehr bestrafen. Ich bin schon gestraft genug. Betritt Tempel. Wer ist denn das?
Good evening, sir. May I ask you what you're doing here at this late hour?
I'm conducting an investigation about the epidemic in this part of town.
And who are you, sir?
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed from the Pembroke Hospital. May I ask who you are and why all the questions?
I'm Detective Inspector Charles Albright from Scotland Yard. And I don't find your answers convincing. What is a Pembroke doctor doing in the West End at this time of night?
Was soll ich denn dem antworten? Ich habe keine Zeit. Ja, nehmen wir ernsthaft. Das hat ja Konsequenzen.
I really have no time for this, Detective Inspector. Call the Pembroke Hospital if you doubt my identity, and let me do my job.
I'm doing my job too, Dr. Reed. And mine consists of arresting criminals who feel they're above suspicion.
What can you tell me about this district?
I'm the one asking questions, especially when there's a killer on the loose.
What killer?
I'm not going to discuss that with the civilians, sir.
Haven't I told you about the investigation I'm conducting? Perhaps I could help you.
All right, without giving you too much information, I'll tell you this. I'm convinced there is a homicidal maniac on the loose, using the epidemic to disguise his kills.
And what about the epidemic?
We both know the situation is critical, don't we, Doctor? Colleagues of mine die almost every day.
Why are you investigating at night?
Criminals rarely act in daylight, you know. But since you are also a night worker, have you noticed anything strange which requires police attention?
Was hat er gesagt? Mensch, ich höre uns nicht zu, da. Ich hab nichts Seltsames bemerkt. Ich möchte... Kennen Sie Vampyr Boncher? Was soll ich denn jetzt antworten? Ich weiß nicht, wo er Vampyr Boncher ist.
No, I've noticed nothing odd.
All right. But keep your eyes open, though.
What are you really doing here?
I told you. I'm a detective inspector from Scotland Yard, investigating suspicious cases in the area.
Do you work alone?
Yes. The situation is difficult for the police. Many of us are sick, and since the summer strike, most men apply a work to rule on their patrols.
What about the situation in the East End? Why are there no police there to protect the civilians?
I know, it's a shame, but we just don't have enough men to cover the entire city.
Tell me all you know about that homicidal maniac you're looking for.
I'm not even sure there is only one. The wounds are always the same, but the modus operandi varies. Sometimes violent and brutal, sometimes precise and swift.
How could different killers inflict the same wounds?
That's my main problem. If my theory is correct, maybe we're facing a group of individuals sharing the same violent tendencies. Perhaps a sadist cult.
What are you investigating, exactly?
Well, my 2 missing persons cases have been solved. By you, it seems. Are you just that lucky? Or do you know something I don't?
I was lucky enough to find them both while conducting my investigation in this part of town.
Why do I still have the feeling that you're hiding something? What about the abductor? Was it the same person?
I don't think so. You had better interview Miss Teasdale and Mr. Kimura on that matter. All I did was to lead them safely home. What are you investigating, exactly?
Well, my 2 missing persons cases have been solved. By you, it seems. Are you just that lucky? Or do you know something I don't?
I was lucky enough to find them both while conducting my investigation in this part of town.
Why do I still have the feeling that you're hiding something? What about the abductor? Was it the same person?
I don't think so. You had better interview Miss Teasdale and Mr. Kimura on that matter. All I did was to lead them safely home. Do you know anything in particular about a man called Aloysius Dawson?
Who doesn't know the man? I think he intervened personally to put an end to the police strike of last August.
What else can you tell me about him?
Aloysius Dawson is exactly the kind of powerful and influential man who could commit murder and get away with it, with just one phone call.
Do you need medical attention, Inspector?
I'm fine, thank you, Dr. Reed.
Goodbye, Detective Inspector Albright.
Goodbye, Dr. Jonathan Reed. I'm sure we'll talk again soon.
Aloysius, Aloysius, Aloysius. Ah. Alois, Alois, Alois. Jetzt sind jetzt hier runter. Wir wollten ins Anwesen von dem. Aber ich muss mich jetzt erstmal umgucken hier. Ich kann einfach nicht anders.
I hope you can stay a little longer this time. I hope you can stay a little longer this time.
Good evening, Miss Price. I'm Dr. Reed. Do you remember me?
Dr. Reed? Yes, of course. You are the doctor who healed me and my mum. Good evening, Dr. Reed.
Good to see you too, Carol. Are you all right?
Oh, yes. I did not hurt myself recently. I know how to take care of myself now. I'm almost a grown-up.
Why are you awake at night, Carol?
I am helping my mother in her shop. It's not easy, but I'm a grown-up now.
I'm sure your mother is grateful for your help.
I do the best I can. But I'm so clumsy sometimes. I drop things. I injure myself. It's a good thing my mother has the patience of an angel.
Why is work not easy? Is something or someone bothering you?
Oh no, most people are gentle with me. But I'm so nervous sometimes. I pay no attention and hurt myself. Good thing my mum learned first aid.
What can you tell me of the people living nearby?
I don't speak to many people, except our customers. It's not easy to make friends. And with the epidemic, it's even more difficult.
What can you tell me about the epidemic?
Some of our regular customers have left London. Some others only send their
Juweliergeschäft
housemates
ist
now.
das, oder?
Everybody fears the contagion.
Schmuck verkauft die.
I've even seen men with weapons.
Have you no friends at all?
No. Mr. Nithercote used to pass by and was always nice to me.
Does he not come by anymore?
No. Mum said he was weird. Always reciting poetry about a girl he'd met in Whitechapel. I wonder who this Camellia may be.
Camellia? Die hat Camellia gesagt, das ist doch die Stumme. Muss ich jetzt wieder zurück zu der Stumme? Blumenverkäuferin da.
What can you tell me about the epidemic?
Some of our regular customers have left London. Some others only send their housemaids now. Everybody fears the contagion. I've even seen men with weapons.
Have you ever met the famous Aloysius Dawson?
Yes, a very strange man. Not very nice.
What do you mean?
He said he was ready to pay good money for rare books, and then laughed at what we showed him.
Goodbye, Carol.
Ach, Moment.
Dr. Reed, I am glad to see
Good evening, young lady.
My mother always prefers when people simply call me Carol.
Do you need my medical attention?
No, I'm all right, Mr. Reed. Well, I think I am.
Goodbye, Carol.
I am sorry, I can't help you, sir. Perhaps you should talk.
Good evening, Miss Price. How are you tonight?
Dr. Reed, I didn't know you had returned from the war. I had a new doctor when you left, but he's not as kind as you.
Always glad to see a former patient in good condition. It's been a long time.
Too long indeed. And as a token of my appreciation, I'll grant you the best price if you fancy buying anything from my humble shop.
What can you tell me about yourself, Miss Price?
I'm still managing my shop. The only difference is, since the quarantine, we're open at night. You, on the contrary, seem to have changed a lot.
Really? Have I changed that much? It must have been the war and the night shifts since my return.
Don't get me wrong, Dr. Reed, you're still handsome. Just maybe a little bit wiser, more serious. It suits you well.
Tell me more about yourself. No new fiancé? I remember you were hoping to get remarried. I'm sure you must have a few suitors.
Who would marry an old bat like myself with a grown daughter and a little business? As you know, I only fancy handsome men like yourself.
Carol's gratitude is exemplary. She seems determined never to leave you.
I'm taking care of my daughter as well as I can. It's not always easy, but she's the best gift life gave me.
But she'll probably leave you someday to live her own life. Will that be difficult for you?
Why would she leave? Children sometimes stay with their parents until the end, for they know no one else will love them as much.
Have you noticed anything in particular in this part of town recently?
Other than you coming back to cheer me up? Nothing at all, Dr. Reed.
Does your daughter still worry you, Miss Price? I remember you were often concerned about her health when she was younger.
Have you not seen Carol since you returned? She's almost a young woman now, but she'll always remain my sweet little baby.
So you're less afraid?
Some things never change. Carol is still too clumsy for her own good. Sometimes her innocence puts her in real danger.
Why would her innocence put her in danger?
She does not realize how cruel life can be. Maybe I was a bad mother to protect her too much. My poor dear Carol.
Da geht doch auch irgendwas Seltsames vor zwischen den zwei.
You have every reason to be cautious, Miss Price. Especially in these difficult times.
Maybe you could talk with her, Dr. Reed. It would be nice to have a man here We would both feel safer.
Do you know Aloysius Dawson?
Everybody knows him. He's only been to my shop once, though, looking for rare books and other intriguing antiques.
Did he buy something from you?
No, he left quickly. He almost laughed at my goods. Mr. Dawson may be a rich man, but you can't buy good manners.
But isn't Aloysius Dawson known
Alois.
for his philanthropy?
That was before his brother Robert died in an aeroplane crash. Since then, the remaining twin has turned into a heartless tycoon.
Do you need my medical attention, Miss Price?
Oh no, I'm fine, Dr. Reed. Perfectly fine. But thank you so much for taking care of me.
Goodbye for now, Miss Price.
Dr. Reed, I am glad to see you again.
It's locked.
Mhm.
Step away, sir.
Was ist was? Was meinst du? Ich habe nichts gesehen. Aha, jetzt habe ich hier auch endlich mal einen Durchgang. Das Anwesen ist hier. Aber ich war hier in dieser Umgebung noch nicht. Deswegen schaue ich mich um.
This is not the place for you, sir.
Hier ist das Anwesen. Aha, hier ist auch ein Unterschlupf, siehst du? Kann man den aufwerten? Nee, mehr wie 5 geht nicht. Schade. Ach doch, hier war ich doch schon mal. Zwei kenne ich doch. Geht's denn hier runter? Was ist das denn bitte? Teppichhändler.
It's locked.
Cards never lie, but they are never easy to read.
Fehlen noch. Noch 3 Sammelobjekte fehlen wir.
Jonathan Reed. At last we meet. The cards warned me you would visit tonight.
I beg your pardon, sir. Do I know you?
Of course you do. Our mutual friend, Dr. Swansea, can't speak highly enough of you. My name is Usher. Usher Talltree.
You are the leader of the Brotherhood, are you not?
Primate of the Brotherhood of St. Paul's Stole, to be precise. I'm really glad we met tonight. I love it when the cards tell me a truth.
The cards told you to expect me.
Yes, they tell me everything. They told me that you struggle hard not to take too many lives.
What can you tell me about the neighborhood?
I really don't know. I don't often go outside. And when I do, it's usually to quite distant destinations.
So you see nothing in the stars for me? You're a poor fortune teller, then.
Oh, I can tell you many things, but they will only concern you, not the city. For example, I know that you offered your sister the final rest she asked for.
Edgar Allan Poe. Ich kenne bloß ein paar Kurzgeschichten von ihm.
Do the cards speak of my Mary?
No. It's the burning aura of guilt that precedes you everywhere you go.
Read my fortune, then.
You have been chosen, Jonathan. I see on you the mark of a strong being, so powerful it needn't even reveal its strength.
Can you read the cards for me?
Are you sure you want to know what they will reveal?
Yes, I am.
It will cost you 150 shillings.
Here is the money.
Love. Pure and unseen, untold. The two hearts love each other without knowing it, without daring to admit it.
Tell me about yourself. What do you do here, besides turning cards in the middle of the night?
I'm for most a charlatan. For a few, I'm a vampire. And for you, I'm the primate of St. Paul's Stole.
Ach, das ist auch ein Vampir.
Some believe you to be a vampire.
Oder nicht?
Who?
The Guard of Priwen, who else? For a time, they sent spies to observe my activities, and they even broke into my home to gather proof.
Did they steal anything from you?
A personal notebook they quickly took to their headquarters. All they had to do is to look at me. I'm aging. What better and definite proof that I'm not an immortal?
Do you want your notebook back?
If you ever
Neue
find it, I'd be
Untersuchung.
glad to have
Die
it back.
Büchse
of
der
course.
Pandora.
I do ask one thing, though. Do not read it, Jonathan. Some secrets are not meant to be revealed, even to immortals.
For how long have you been a primate?
It was 15 years last year.
What do you make of Dr. Swansea?
Edgar is a brilliant and dedicated man. A man of his time, sometimes a little muddled, but always looking for new paths and new concepts.
Can you read the cards for me?
Put the money on the table then, Jonathan, and open your mind.
Here is the money.
The mother, a suffering soul, ashamed of her silence, terrified to raise her voice, a son to be killed.
Is there anything you could tell me about Aloysius Dawson?
Aloysius Dawson. Yes, of course. We met on several occasions. With time, he got deeper and deeper into the occult.
He's not the only one. It's been quite the fashion for several decades. The Golden Dawn, for instance, is just one example.
True. Aloysius was a member of the Golden Dawn until 1900. Then his thirst for dark knowledge grew.
Ja, und wie haben sie geschmeckt? Ich hatte leider nur noch diese Veganer. Die kann ich nicht essen. Die Veganer, die kleben mir zu arg am Gaumen.
Do you require medical attention?
I'm fine, thank you, Jonathan.
Goodbye, sir. Until we meet again.
I rarely wander. Yet it amuses me to converse with your kind.
Ja, ich glaube, ich habe die Veganer, habe ich dir ins Paket. Ich hab leider keine andere mehr. Es gab 3 verschiedene Sorten. Vegan, Frucht und Sauer. Also es gibt Vegan, Frucht und Sauer.
Song in the dark, the whispers of a son. So many signs to interpret.
So, ich habe doch da eine Untersuchung gekriegt eben. Hier. Findet heraus, wo Usha Notizbuch ist, das die Ware vom Pion gestohlen hat. Die Bücher der Pandora. Findet heraus. Ja, alles klar. Also laufen wir am besten hier raus, dann hier durch und dann kommen wir direkt hin.
Perhaps I should look into it. Maybe it's time to go there.
Im Theater?
The Swanborough cordial can be the answer to all your problems.
I will return later.
Was? Wieso? Wieso soll ich später wiederkommen? Das Theater, ne?
Get it! Vampyr! He's dead!
I cannot enter.
Die, vermin! He's so fucking fast!
Wieso komme ich denn jetzt nicht da rein? Erstmal müsst ihr die für Ascha die Nebenquestbüchse der Pandora annehmen. Und ein Notizbuch für ihn besorgen. Und besorgen, das ihm gestohlen wurde. Dieses findet ihr im Theater in Whitechapel. Kümmert euch dort also um die Gegner, welche einen Schlüssel für euch fallen lassen. Ja, welche Gegner?
He's done for!
Danke. Ja. Ja, ins Theater komme ich ja nicht, das ist abgeschlossen. Hier ist das Theater. Das letzte Mal bin ich hier über diesen Eingang.
It's
So,
locked, all
auch
right.
zu.
I cannot enter.
Look at it! Vicious bastard! Die, Berlin!
Keiner hat einen Schlüssel.
You're mine!
Ah! Nee. Nee.
Christ! He's dead!
Jetzt entferne ich mich ja schon wieder.
It's locked.
I won't end up another drunk arsehole littering the streets. Not me.
Wo finde ich den Schlüssel? Beziehungsweise wo finde ich die Ware mit dem Schlüssel? Finde heraus, wo Bioscha dorthin los. Eieiei. Zu weit.
I cannot enter.
Wie komme ich auf die andere Seite hier? Ja, da war ich an dem Fenster, aber das ist zu. Bin ich nur? So, ich gehe noch mal zu dem Fenster. Ich war ja schon mal in diesem Theater. Und da bin ich hier über dieses Fenster da oben.
It's locked, all right. I cannot enter.
weiß es nicht. Ach, ich gehe jetzt zu diesem Dawson da, zu dem Alius. Wo ist denn der? Warum wird mir das jetzt nicht mehr angezeigt? Hier, gell? Hier war das. Vielleicht kann ich da erst zum späteren Zeitpunkt hin.
The Swanborough cordial can be the answer to all your
This district seems to get uglier every year.
Vorhin war hier dieses Y-Symbol. Jetzt ist es weg. Also, da gehen wir mal rein. Also nicht zum Vampir machen.
Dawson's Mansion. Here I am at last. But the question remains. Am I ready to make a dying man my progeny? Reduced in rank for falsely accusing a man of murder. I wonder what Inspector Albright thinks about his punishment. It's locked, all right. It's locked. It's locked, all right. It's locked. It's
Er hat
locked,
sogar
all right.
zwei Saves. Und er will noch mehr.
Finally, you're here, Dr. Reed. What took you so long?
I had to pass several of your barricades and outposts to access your mansion, sir.
Death, pestilence surround us, and time is against me.
I see you've gathered some of the most expensive, albeit experimental, blood transfusion equipment available. All this could be so useful in a hospital.
Yes, yes. Since Lord Redgrave sent me a doctor to perform my conversion, I thought you might find some of these devices useful.
Most thoughtful. But tonight I'm not here as a physician.
But I feel reassured that a specialist such as yourself would help me to escape the Reaper.
Very well. But before I proceed, I have a few questions for you.
If you must, but be quick, for I don't have much time left in this life.
First of all, I need to be sure that you know exactly what is going to happen to you, sir.
I can assure you I'm as informed as any man can be. I have planned for this moment, Dr. Reed. Planned very carefully.
I'm the only vampire in the room for now, so please indulge me.
All right, all right. What is it you wish to ask?
I will become your maker. Do you understand what that means?
Well, I certainly won't consider you my liege or some such drivel. You can be assured of that.
You'll need to feed on warm blood. Blood from mortals. How do you feel about that?
I'm rich, Dr. Reed, and powerful. I'm sure I'll be able to acquire all the blood I need without ever having to sully my own hands.
What do you know about the Guard of Priwen?
What I do know is that I'll crush anyone or anything that would dare to oppose me.
Oh je, ich habe nur die eine Möglichkeit.
Let's move on then.
Please, I'm cold and tired. I feel my life waning with every moment.
But first, before you embrace immortality, what would you do with such a gift?
That's a rather impertinent question, Dr. Reed. and I will do as I please.
Answer me all the same. What will your first action be as an immortal?
To save London, I will finance the most efficient quarantine ever seen. I will build a wall that will separate the sick boroughs from the healthy ones.
Who gave you the right to decide the fate of thousands of people?
My money. My money and my pending immortality gives me the needed authority, Doctor. I'm a businessman. I'm used to tough decisions.
You really plan to build a quarantine wall across London?
Yes, it will be tall and strong, separating the wheat from the chaff.
Let me guess. You mean to isolate the rich from the poor?
This is a desperate measure for desperate times. England must prevail, Doctor, no matter the cost.
By doing so, you will also create two separate prisons.
Come, sir. An eminent doctor like yourself knows that such radical measures have proved efficient in the past.
Quarantine is not a bad idea, medically speaking. But I'm convinced this epidemic will not be contained by mere walls.
As long as the right people are on the right side of the wall, that's all that matters.
What if a new outbreak happens inside your walls? You'll have created a giant trap.
That won't happen. As long as we dispose of anyone that is contaminated, as soon as they are spotted.
But you can't guarantee infection will not spread. Just one contagious carrier would be enough to create an apocalypse.
The apocalypse is already knocking at the gate. We must be strong now.
Ich kann mich hier nicht entscheiden.
I've heard enough. It's time to proceed.
At last. All right, do what you have to do. If it hurts, so be it. I've been preparing such a long time for this.
Aha. Jetzt habe ich die Möglichkeit. In den Bann ziehen, vergessen Sie Ihre Angst vor dem Tod, verwandeln der Opfer. Also ich tendiere ihn in den Bann ziehen. Und dann stirbt er alleine irgendwann.
Listen to me, Aloysius Dawson. You will forget your fear of dying, for it has poisoned your mind and made you bitter and ruthless since the death of your twin brother.
You don't understand. Death is oblivion, the eternal void. I know there's nothing there. I saw it in Robert's empty eyes. I saw myself in that coffin.
Death is painful for those who remain, not for those who have passed. All that occult gibberish you filled your head with has made you forget this simple truth.
No! Death will not claim me. I have the power and the money. I've acquired the arcane knowledge needed. I believe there is magic, there are dark forces. You will provide me my extension.
Your ignorance makes you a fool. You have no idea. Look at me. Hunted like a beast, my family lost, cursed. I have not escaped death, I have become it.
No, there must be a way. I don't want to go like my brother did. I have money, lots of money.
Money won't ease your mind. I know you used to be a good and generous man. So I offer you the gift of peace, Aloysius. The tranquility of a true death.
I accept your offer. and I understand. No more fear, I will die a man of dignity, and a man at peace.
So.
It's locked.
Da hat 3 Safes im Haus. Unglaublich. Da steht er schon. Er ist bestimmt jetzt. Er ist bestimmt jetzt sauer auf mich, weil ich ihn nicht zum Vampir gemacht habe. Soll er es doch selber machen?
Is it done, Dr. Reed? Is Aloysius Dawson reborn, as expected?
I'm afraid Mr. Dawson finally chose to embrace life and death as a mortal.
What do you mean?
He has overcome his fear of dying. I let him rest and wait for death to come.
What? This is unacceptable. Go back there and make him the powerful Ekon he's destined to be.
No, Lord Redgrave. As a doctor and as an immortal, I can't. If you wish to make him your progeny, then proceed on your own.
This is an outrage beyond words. This is betrayal, pure and simple. I should kill you on the spot. You swore on William Marshall's blood.
Well, get rid of me then.
From now on, you're an outcast. Banished. You are forbidden to ever appear in front of us again. Ascalon will smite you on sight, and your heart will be thrown to the rats.
I'll leave you then. Have fun with your puppets and shadow plays, Lord Redgrave.
Yes, go, traitor, and take that awful creature, that counterfeit of a woman I saw waiting for you, and be gone!
Ha! Ja und?
Step away, traitor. Return to your dubious friends and your decrepit hospital. Do not dare show yourself again, you or that monstrosity you bring to my door. Step away, traitor. Return to your dubious friends and your decrepit hospital. Do not dare show yourself again, you or that
Oh, kennst du die, wo da unten rechts jetzt steht? Ich glaube, da warst du nicht dabei. Die habe ich in der Kanalisation kennengelernt. Das ist ein Ekon. Also die, kein Ekon, ein Skull. Ein Skull, und zwar haben die sich hier versteckt. Das sind Skulls, wo denken können. Also nicht alle Skulls sind so verbittert und bösartig. Das ist ein Skulp. Aber halt nicht bösartig. Die Vampire denken ja, die Skulps sind alle bösartig.
We meet again at the strangest of times, young Ekon. So do you serve the Earl of Bristol now?
Old Bridget, what are you doing here?
Your friend, the wise Ekon. She sent me to warn you.
Did anyone see you? It's a long way from the dock sewers, and hunters are patrolling the streets here.
Who said I took the streets? How do you think I survived for centuries in this city without ever being seen? I know all her secrets.
How did you meet Lady Ashbury?
She came to us in the sewers in search of answers. Just as you did.
What kind of answers did you give her?
I knew nothing of your maker, but we talked. We talked a lot. Her words and ideas are captivating. It is no surprise that you like her. I like her too.
Lady Ashbury in the sewers? Now that's a sight I wish I'd seen.
She said she was your friend, and that she sought the identity of your maker. So I answered her questions.
Lady Ashbury? You know her? Tell me what's going on.
The lady approached me but a few nights ago, wanting to meet the sewer skulls. Once she questioned Harriet Jones. She agreed to help us.
Harriet Jones is still with you then? How is she doing?
Harriet remains angry, but is recovering slowly. Her mind is twisted, but at least her body is healing.
Tell me what is going on.
The lady asked us to keep an eye on your mortal doctor friend while you were away. We spotted the hunters. They were discussing plans to attack tonight.
Wait, slow down. I need to ask you something.
I'm listening, but I do not have time to waste, so be quick.
Where is Lady Ashbury right now?
She said she will go home. She needed to speak with some old friends first, though. Do not worry, young Ekon. She is no fool, and just as strong as you.
How did Elizabeth find you?
She presented herself humbly at our gate, and asked if we knew of any ancestral vampires hiding in London. She asked about Ascalon. She asked about many things.
Why did she come to you?
I am old Bridget, the buried memory of the city. She sought the silent truths. Truths I have kept hidden for so long.
What do you think of her?
Her soul is good, yet tainted with a deep sadness and the scars of ancient wounds. Time does that to us immortals, for we have so much to dwell upon.
Why do I feel like Lord Redgrave was particularly irritated to see you? Far more so than the average Skull, if I may say.
Because I used to know him quite well, and he is afraid I may remember who he really is.
You're Elizabeth's informant. You're the one who told her about Lord Redgrave's lies regarding his lineage.
Yes, but my words were not meant to hurt or threaten. I simply told the story of the sewer skulls, and of so many other forgotten children.
Ich glaube, dafür bleibt keine Zeit. Ich muss denen helfen, glaube ich.
No time to lose, then. I must go there right away.
I shall return to my den. Have you a message for the lady? Should I see her before you?
Was soll ich denn jetzt machen? Ich muss denen helfen, wo in der Kanalisation abgeschlachtet worden sind. Was soll ich der sagen? Du liebst sie? Echt? Ich dachte, ich liebe Lottie.
Yes. Tell her I love her.
Is this still unknown to her? Go now and take care, young Ekon, for the flames are rising.
So. Krankenhaus. Vor am Theater nochmal vorbei. Ja, so wird's sein.
It's been such a long time since I came to this part of town.
Jetzt jagen sie mich natürlich, ne? Muss mal kurz überlegen. Ich gehe vorher noch zur Lady Ashburn. Also als erstes ins Krankenhaus, dann Lady Ashburn und dann zur Mission. Wenn ich lebe und dort ankomme.
Maybe it's time to see if this Christina...
Ja, das kann ich mal wieder zurückholen.
Kill you! Bloody monster! I'll send you to hell!
Sicht, jetzt habe ich wieder Blut voll.
It's locked.
Zu.
I cannot enter.
So, jetzt dahin.
Elizabeth. I'm so happy to see you. I was so concerned.
It is also good to see you in these darkened hours. Is all well, my dear?
Indeed, we stand upon the precipice. Has the news reached you of Edgar Swansea?
No. I returned home but moments ago. What of him?
Your friend, the well-informed old Bridget, tells me the Guard of Priwen has assaulted Pembroke. I fear Edgar tops their bloody list.
Bridget? She is such a tragic figure. And yet, I sense deep inside, she has a delicate, fragile soul.
Indeed she has. I'm glad you like her too.
Once this is all over, I will study the sewer skulls. I fear I have made terrible mistakes, founded upon erroneous preconceptions.
I was concerned for your safety. McCullum draws too close to you for my comfort.
Fear not. I've evaded the hunters for many a year, and I intend to stay far from their gases, flames, and spikes. Now, speak to me of Dawson.
I convinced Aloysius to embrace death as the ultimate gift of mortal life. I believe he found peace in the end.
The cost must have been heavy indeed. I am proud of you, my love.
Ascalon has defrocked me and threatens to hound me from the city. This was, no doubt, inevitable.
You did what you thought was right at the time. One can ask no more. The important task now at hand is to help poor Edgar.
Now I am assured of your safety. That is precisely my intention.
Good. Now go, my dear, and return with good news with the greatest haste.
It is I, once again.
I'm all right, Jonathan. But find out what happened to dear Dr. Swansea. I fear for our friend.
Ich habe das Gefühl, könnte es sein, dass es langsam am Ende zugeht, oder? Oder täusche ich mich da? Was denkst du, soll ich nochmal hier in den Unterschlupf und mich upgraden? Aber dann ist die Wahrscheinlichkeit hoch, dass Leute wieder krank werden. Momentan sind sie alle gesund. Oh, diese Lords-Serie. Ja, wenn ich jetzt hier mich upgrade, überspringe ich ja eine Nacht. Und in dieser Nacht geschehen Ereignisse, wo die Leute wieder verändert. Ich habe aber 4000 Erfahrungspunkte. Wenn ich jetzt hier hingehe und mich upgrade, sind wieder welche krank und ich kann wieder rumrennen und die Leute heilen.
What is this truck? Are the vampire hunters here already?
Geht echt ein Doktor. Brauchen ja die Hilfe.
Look at it! Vicious bugger! Get it! Fuck with some of that! End to you! Try vermin!
Ach, sie leben, wenn noch. Ich dachte, sie wären alle tot.
Good evening, Miss Howcroft. How are you tonight?
I need blood, Doctor. Warm, rich, vibrant blood.
Are you all right? I heard the hospital was attacked.
They were vampire hunters, and they were looking for me. Bless poor Dr. Swansea, they beat him, but he didn't say a word about me.
What did they want?
They wanted Dr. Swansea to confess his guilt and admit to relations with blood drinkers.
They hurt him, you say?
Yes, I hide in the shadows, but I've heard them.
I'll leave you, Mistress of the Dark, to your nocturnal activities. Those bastards. What have they done to Edgar? McCullum and his thugs are taking the credit for Edgar's abduction. They really mean business.
Da oben war ich noch nie. Da konnte ich vorher nicht hoch. Was geht denn hier ab?
Ultraviolet curtains and Ori calcium powder. Dr. Swansea's always been a resourceful bastard. I bet he never told you he had this installed in case of a vampire attack. Says a lot about how much he trusts you.
What have you done with Edgar?
Don't worry. We don't kill humans. Even if your friend is deserving of a little punishment for one.
What are you talking about?
We know everything. Swansea and you created this bloody epidemic. You aim to unleash another disaster, just like William Marshall did.
No, I'm trying to put an end to it, just like you are.
You're the progeny, aren't you? Where is the monster hiding? It's still in England, isn't it?
I have no idea what you're talking about. Jeffrey, please listen to me.
No tricks. That shit won't work on me. We've found proof in the theater. Doris Fletcher was your first experiment.
Dead?
Now where is Marshall? Speak! So much for modern technology. Time for the tried and true. Do you know what this is, Beast? This is a drop of King Arthur's blood. The blood of a true defender of Britain. Stronger than your evil powers.
This is ridiculous. We're losing precious time.
True enough. Soon I'll bring your head before your coward of a father. If you're so innocent, why does simple light burn you so much? The blood of a true defender of this land will protect me. Show some style. Fight like a man.
Oi, 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 oi.
I know. It hurts, doesn't it? Freewind prevails! Come on, Reed. True light will cleanse you. We are the guardian of justice. Freewind shall prevail.
You can't accept the fact we're not enemies, can you?
We always have been, and we always will be. Of all the evils that threaten mankind, your kind are the worst.
Was hat er gesagt? Eieiei. Das war aber knapp. Zeitweise war es ziemlich knapp. Ich musste mich heilen selbst. Ich würde gerne den letzten Satz noch hören, was er gesagt hat. Ich habe nicht zugehört.
I was only reborn for a few minutes before you and your men hunted me down like a beast.
You were only reborn for a few minutes, and you'd already taken the life of an innocent woman.
There is no way you'll ever let me be, McCullum. You'll always hunt me down, won't you?
There is no escape, Leech. Kill me now, for there is no way you can sway me to your ideals.
That's where you're mistaken.
What do you mean?
I'll spare you, McCullum. I'll offer you the mercy you never offered me.
What is this ruse?
This is no ruse, McCullum. This is me letting you go. After all, you and I are both trying to save this poor country in our own way.
I'll kill you, Reed. Next time we meet, I'll end you.
See? Progress already. You called me by my name. Until the next time. Goodbye, Hunter.
Es hat einen gewissen Wiederspielwert, das Spiel. Man kann ja die Entscheidungen beim nächsten Mal, sollte man es nochmal spielen, anders treffen. Aber ich weiß halt nicht, wie weit die Auswirkungen dann sind. Ob das wirklich dann so einen großen Wiederspielwert hat, weiß ich auch nicht. Hat sich nichts geändert, oder? Nein. Alles noch okay. Nee, nicht bald. Oh, ich weiß nicht. Vieles wird ja gleich sein. Nur halt die Entscheidungen, wo man trifft, hat halt Auswirkungen aufs Ende am Schluss. Oder ich schaue mir verschiedene Streams an, wie die anderen Leute das spielen. Das ist auch interessant. Ja, aber das Ganze nochmal alles machen? Nee. Zu viele Leute, heile. Zu viele hin und her gelaufen. Das dauert mir dann zu lang. Da schaue ich dann lieber zu, wie andere das machen. Also ich bin bis jetzt eigentlich so ziemlich zufrieden mit meinen Entscheidungen, muss ich sagen. Bloß vielleicht da am Anfang da mit dem Kampf kurz vor dem Kampf mit meiner Schwester. Das hätte vielleicht anders ausgehen können. Aber ansonsten war ich zufrieden. Ah ja, guck. Jetzt schickt die Hauptquest schickt mich jetzt wieder ins Theater. Und dann vermutlich werde ich hier auch die Notiz da finden für den Sinnbad. Aber jetzt habe ich 6000 Lebenspunkte, jetzt durch upgrade. Egal ob die krank werden jetzt. Ich habe überall 5, das ist noch gut. Hier kann ich nichts mehr upgraden. Glaube nicht. Nein. $6000, boah. So, mal schauen, was passiert. Sicher, es ist der Alois. Wie heißt der? Alois ist jetzt gestorben. Friedlich. Und hat keine Weltherrschaft. So, hier sind noch alle gesund. Ach, Jesus allein. Ja, hier geht der Gesundheitszustand hoch. Alle gesund, sehr gut. Hier ist auch alles okay. In dem Bezirk habe ich die meiste verloren. Lotti, Giselle. So, was ist auf der Landkarte passiert? Irgendwelche Ereignisse? Nein. Also sie lebt und sie ist gesund. So. Jetzt mache ich Feierabend. Vielleicht ist ja morgen das Finale. Es ist 12 Uhr. Ich habe nicht bis 11 Uhr geschlafen, ich war um 7 schon wach. Aufwärten geht auch nicht mehr. So. Ja, ich denke auch. Ich denke, wir sind so im letzten Drittel vom Spiel. Aber die Folge 12 ist immer noch verschwunden, gell? Das finde ich nicht bei YouTube. Ja, ich danke dir, dass du dabei warst. Die Folge 12 ist da. Wo? Ich sehe sie nicht. Moment, ich schau. Ja, dann fehlt Folge 13, oder? Ah, doch. Merkwürdig, dass die so lange gedauert hat. Gut, und irgendjemand hat mir da einen Kommentar, wieder so blöde Kommentar hinterlassen hier, mit irgendeinem so Link. Entfernen. So. Alles klar, dann wünsche ich dir gute Nacht. Und morgen geht's weiter. Bis dann.